Hi guys, I'm recording this video, this is a Dell optiplex. It's a Dell computer, small. This is a Dell DT 390 DT, which has an i3 2120 and 4 gigs RAM. But that's not what I'm talking about. So, computer I have, which is a 9010, which is basically this same form factor as this. So I'll show you what I did with it, but this is the standard case. Now I'm about to show you what I've been working on. The computer I have is a 9010, which comes standard with an i5 3470, I think it is. And basically, so I got this one with an i7 3770, 16 gigs of RAM, and no graphics card, and a 250 watt PPSU. But this is what I've been working on. So this is a Dell optiplex 9020 motherboard. It has 3 SATA ports. It had this weird front connector down here, which is right down here. Oh, where my finger pointing at? Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So this right now has a GT 1030 in there. It's getting an upgrade of a 1050 Ti. It has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a SATA controller to add. It's an AS Media SATA controller that I have right here. That's going to be connected to the front. This is a Thermaltake V3 Black Edition, I think that's called. But it's a Thermaltake case. So this case has power buttons in there. It comes with a blue LED fan, but I cut the wires for the fan because it was kind of bright. Because this is going to be used as my main desktop and a Plex server, and also if I'm going to upgrade this at any time, it's going to be to a Ryzen system, but that's not important right now. But the top graphics card, the graphics card, is going to be replaced with a 1050 Ti for NVENC encoding. The SATA card, which is going to go down to third SATA port, and it has a 500 watt power supply, Thermaltake power supply. It's a white power supply. In the front, it has a Scythe fan controller, because this motherboard only has 2 fan ports, one for the CPU, one for the CPU, and one for this 80mm fan, because they're 5-pin actually fans. And if you don't have a 5-pin fan there, it's going to throw an error. And what I had to do, I could have used the standard case buttons, but basically when I turn on the power switch with one of them plugged in, it automatically boots up, giving a power button error. So basically, I just took the power buttons and then put it behind the side panel. There's a 256 gigabyte SSD on the side right here. The power button for the original case is right here, with a hole drilled right here to run to the power button that's up there. It's gonna have 3 Blu-ray optical drives in here. So there's one in here right now. 2 of them are in the mail right now. Same with 1050 Ti. This is a hot swap drive bay, but the hot swap feature doesn't work correctly, because this motherboard doesn't properly support hot swap. So I just have it in here, so when I decide to update the motherboard to something that supports hot swap, will have hot swap abilities. I just have to shut down the computer in order to take out the drive. Right in here is a 2TB drive that I'm using for like backup in this computer. for like extra storage. The computer you saw back there had a 4 terabyte hard drive in there, and two Blu-ray optical drives are going to be here for ripping and stuff. This fan controller is basically a scythe. Got the name, but basically it costs $9 on Amazon. Right here is a 140 millimeter fan. It's supposed to only support a 120 millimeter fan, but I have one screw in here that's holding it down. And then the case doesn't have cable management, so I basically routed it behind the drive bay. Behind the 3.5-inch drive bays right here. It has a standard Dell fan. I think this is a fractal fan. I think this is a as media controller, SATA controller, and it only has 2 removable brackets, one for here, one for the bottom, and and then right here is just 2 SATA cables for the optical drives, and also these 2 SATA data cables for the actual optical drives. And the optical drive is going to be ran off of the as media controller. Yeah, it's not going to be as fast, but it still gives me extra slots. I could have used a regular RAID controller or a regular HPA, but I decided to use the as media controller because I know there's only be 2 fans here, and these were basically covering up this fan, so now there's going to be more airflow in here. And you really can't tell there's wires here, but there's like a bunch of wires here because it's black. And yeah, so these fans might eventually get replaced. This fractal fan might eventually get replaced with a Noctua fan. So same with this, a Noctua fan. I might replace this. would have to repen this, or just get a 5-pin to 4-pin adapter and get an 80 millimeter non-Noctua fan, and it would basically keep the noise down even more. And all I need to do left is remove this graphics card for like when the graphics card actually comes. It's gonna be here on the 8th. This actual SATA card is gonna get moved down to this PCI Express port, because the one when it's in can't be actually used anymore because the graphics card is gonna cover it up. And the 2 optical drives are going in here for using with the DVD fab or any other Blu-ray ripping software. Right here is an actual fan spot for a 140 millimeter fan, but I'm not using it. The fan for power supply is sucking in air under here, and the different thing about this power supply is this power supply holder is that it doesn't need the 4 screws back there. There's just like a little thing you unscrew right here, and then it holds the power supply in. Because I tried slipping the power supply in just without removing that, because I didn't actually notice that, and I couldn't get the power supply in, so I had to unscrew it from here at the bottom where my finger is at, and then slip it in, put it back down, and then screw it back down. And the SSD is an Intel SSD that might get replaced with a 1 terabyte SSD or something. I might use. It's running Windows 10, and then if I ever do decide to put in a standard motherboard, I just unzip tie the power buttons that are back there, and then run them over to where the power buttons would be, is just right there. But to get this thing working on this little adapter right here, there's a 2 millimeter pinch jumper that you have to put actually there. on like pins 7 and 8 to like get it to boot properly. And this is on a Dell optiplex 9070. I mean 9010. And it basically because when in the optiplex case, it has like this little front panel header that basically has USB 3, USB 2, and also USB 2, and also headphone microphone jack, and also status LED. And if you basically remove that, you could it doesn't fit in like a standard optical bay right here. Doesn't fit here either. It would have to be stuck inside the case. But but the problem with actually that is I couldn't get it out of, I couldn't reuse it because I had to cut the wire because of it was fused with this connector, and this connector's partially broken. I mean the connector port's partially broken because I couldn't get the connector off. I had to use a pair of pliers, and also needle nose pliers, and also a pair of scissors to like cut the wires after I tried the needle. After I cut it with needle nose pliers, then I use pliers to like pull out the actual connector. Nothing was bent, but I got it out. Yeah. So I'll give you an update of the computer running after I build it. Okay, I mean after I get all the parts. So this is just part 1, I guess. Thank you for watching. Bye.